Մենք եկած ենք Մասիս Քեբաբ տեսնվելու շրջանավարտներ Peter եւ Gevik Baghdassarian.
Hi, I'm Peter Baghdassarian. I'm a class of 90 grad. I'm also a parent of a Shamlian alumni, 2 alumni.
I'm Gevik Baghdassarian, class of 1991 Shamlian alum. My wife is also a 1991 Shamlian alum. My 2 older sons are Shamlian graduates, and currently my son Jack is a proud 6th grade Tiger at Shamlian.
Gevik Peter, ինչապ ուրախ ենք, որ այսօր ծեր հետ արիթ ունենք հոս Մասիս Քեբաբ եկած ենք, ծեր հետ տեսնվելու, խոսելու մեր այս project-ը շրջանավարտներու մասին։ Սկսենք ծեր դարեքիրքերով։ Peter 1990 and Gevik 91.
Wow. I think we were the last 9th grade class. Your sister was my classmate. And then my brother had to graduate. He was 2 years behind, but he graduated in 8th grade.
We're the first 8th grade graduating class because they told us probably a few weeks before school ended that there's not going to be a 9th grade anymore. And my wife, I just noticed my wife is in that class too. It's awesome seeing like all my current best friends that I regularly see and hang out with. They're here and their kids now go to Shamlian. Our kids all went to Shamlian, one's still there, and it's just awesome. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, it's cool because my closest friends still to this day are my Shamlian classmates.
I'll never ever forget those years and the bonds that we made. We didn't even have the Armenian trip. He actually got the Armenian trip.
Yes.
Yeah, they were the first class.
First class to have it. It was interesting because it was still communist Armenia, and we went to Soviet Union when it was Soviet. I was the first person in our family to go to Armenia. My mom and dad had never been, Gevik hadn't been, so it was kind of interesting.
Can you tell us about what field you pursued after graduation from Shamlian and your role in this amazing business and the vision your dad had when he started Massis Kebab?
After graduating from Shamlian, I went to St. Francis High School, and from there went off to USC and then USC Law School and became a lawyer, worked for a big firm. Our dad didn't want us to go into the business. He just figured they're educated, they're lawyers. Always looked at this business as kind of lowbrow, blue collar, like if you had an education, why would you want to do this? So in a way he was surprised, but towards the end pleasantly surprised that Peter and I chose to continue his legacy. Every fiber of his life and body and spirit is in this restaurant. We have a picture of him at every single restaurant that we have because he really is the restaurant. This restaurant gave him so much hope after coming to this country with nothing. He was able to support us, pay for our schooling and our lifestyle, and it's great to continue his legacy and his memory.
Same path. I went to St. Francis, then to USC undergrad, USC Law School, and the same thing. My dad really felt education was very important, and he always used to say in his way that, you know, if you become a lawyer, if you have a high education, then even in the worst days, if somebody needs somebody to do something, they'll hire you to do something, even if it wasn't law. You know, for us, it was an opportunity to go out in the world. Like I worked in the entertainment industry for 20 plus years. I worked in-house for several large corporations. I felt like my education was helpful in transitioning to this business full time. So as we've been involved with this business since we were 12 years old. Gevik and I were kids, and our kids have also similarly been involved. So we were always aware of this business, but we had a choice, and it was wonderful that we had the opportunity, and it was our decision to come back into this business. It wasn't kind of forced upon us.
All the Armenians in Gondel, it's just we feel so proud when we drive by and we see the Armenian letters and pictures of Armenia, and I think that it also furthers our cause in a sense, educating people every time they come and they see Mamig and Babig in the store, and of course it's so delicious. I can't tell you how proud we are as Shamlian to be under your continued support and love and guidance, because from your father's kindness and guidance that he provided Shamlian to now having his name and your mother's name on the new preschool.
Yeah.
We feel so lucky to be under your umbrella and support. Besides being benefactors and philanthropists, you both really give back to the community. You're a leader in Armenian organizations. How did Shamlian impact your leadership skills and your spirit of giving back and the spirit of volunteerism within you?
I think it goes back to the teachers who sacrificed their time and energy to instill in us, not just learning Armenian, speaking Armenian. We're so proud to be able to give back to the community that gave us so much. You know, my dad came here from the old country, like all of our parents. The first place they went to was the church and the school. And that was the meeting point. That's where a lot of us met our significant others, our best friends, and any chance that we can keep that going, it's an amazing thing.
So once you enter the Armenian school system, then your approach to the importance of it, you get taught that through the lessons, right? We have normal classes, English, math, but we also learn about our culture, which is different. Because even if you went to a school that, you know, sometimes public schools will offer immersion or some kind of just languages, you're just learning the language.
One of the first big transformations of this school began with the creation of the gymnasium, which you initiated and were the major sponsors for with your entire family. Your parents had a big role in that, your father, and then you supported us in purchasing the property next door, and now the amazing new project that we have across the street with the Jacob and Hilda Baghdassarian preschool. Your support has been endless and your love for Shamlian infinite. How did that begin?
I think for our dad, since he never had the chance to have an education, it was a gift that he never had and something he absolutely valued. And every opportunity he had where he could give back to the community, do something for the school, especially our Armenian schools, he felt it was an obligation. So whatever he could, he always wanted to help out. And Shamlian was so dear to his heart. After all, they kept his kids safe, gave a great education, and that was his way of giving back to an amazing school. I think it's one of his proudest moments was helping out Shamlian.
Something that, as Gevik said, my dad really impressed upon us, the difference between groups of people that have had diaspora or have had to live in diaspora, and the difference between Armenians is that when we go somewhere, we are first either building a church or a school, or usually both, almost immediately, and everybody pulls together to make it happen. And you see what can happen if that is not your priority. Like in a country like America, where assimilation is encouraged, it's not a negative thing, it could easily be the Armenians in 1 or 2 generations could be no longer existing. So with Shamlian, with the schools that Armenians have established in Southern California, it's critical. Anything else we do without that is kind of has less meaning. And I think my dad would agree with that. My brother and I agree with that too.
Thank you so much, Peter, Gevik. Thank you for joining us for 50 years, 50 stories.
All right. Awesome.
Of course, we're leaving with some food. They sent a bunch of food for the teachers.